Hope you and your family is doing good. Today I just received 3 new 6300 switches and I've unboxed them and stacked them as you see backside of me. So the goal is I want to just stack them because they are coming as a factory default switches. I want to just stack them as a 3-member stack. Let's see how easy to stack Aruba AOS-CX switches. Especially on the access layer, stacking feature becomes so important because many times you grow the ports on access layer with a 24 port in the beginning and then the 48 port and then it becomes the 48 plus 48, then it grows to a 10-member stack as your organization is growing. Though it is growing, you will manage with it as a single switch. That's the benefit of Aruba AOS-CX VSF. We have simplified as best as possible in the industry to form this stack. I'll show you and then you will understand how it's so simple to stack Aruba AOS-CX 6300. These are the new 3 SKUs which I received today. These are all Aruba 6300 48 port class 8 PoE switches. Remember, class 8 is not 60 watt. Class 6 is 60 watt. Class 8 is 90 watt power, PoE power on a PSC. Okay, that means think about your number of PDs which you can connect in your enterprise using this 90 watt of power on AOS-CX switches. So coming back, I have 2 48 port switches, which is the new 6300 switches, and the last one is a LRM 24 port SFP plus switch, which is not a PoE switch, which you can connect a lot of servers to directly to this switch. Okay, so now what is the goal of this today is to show you how simple and easy to stack this with the auto join feature. As I'm telling you, these are all just factory default configuration and unboxed and mounted on this rack. So what I'm going to do now is you can see, as you are seeing, the LED is at the back. Maybe it is not so much visible where it is on the LED what is written there, but I'm going to read it for you. It is currently at the back. What I'm going to do is 3 times I'm going to press this button. There is a button, as you see, LED mode button. There is the LED mode. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press this LED mode button where the same factory default switches, currently they're all individual switches, they are not stacked. You will see some stack operation. Then I'm going to show you on a window once I'm going to share a screen and show you how they're going to form the VSF stack, right? So once it is formed, because it's a factory default, once it's formed, I will just log into a putty and show you how these 3 switches which came from the factory became a one single switch. So what I'm going to do is, for operational efficiency, this is what we have done, and network engineers and IT admins will definitely appreciate this one. Take a look at this one. I'm going to press this LED mode button 3 times. Now it's at the PoE. Next is going to be at the speed. Don't keep that one there. Move it one more. Keep it at the stack. As I kept it at the stack, what's going to happen is we have given a right way to stack this one. You can see I'm using Aruba DAC cables, which is a 50 gig on the front plane. I've connected this DAC cable from a member 1, that is nothing but the conductor, to the standby. As look at from here, as you are seeing, it is connected at the below port to the next switch, and the next one is connected to the member. And to complete the ring, now it is at the chain, so you have to go all the way from your last member, that is now it is member 3. I'm connecting back to the conductor. So this completes the overall ring network. So let's wait, and you might be seeing these LEDs are started blinking. That means the conductor is detecting who is my standby. Now the standby is detected. As you are seeing on this side, the LED is blinking, and also the below LED is also blinking. That means the conductor already knows which is a standby. After a few minutes, you will see the member rebooting and joining the stack. That means now the top one is the conductor, the below is the standby, and whatever you see on the last one is the member. which is not a PoE switch currently, is a member. So let it boot, and before it boots, let's go and just take a look at how many SKUs are available on 6300 to stack. That means different ways you can stack using these different SKUs. You can buy a 6300 a fixed SKU. As you see here, the fixed SKUs are not as depth as the modular SKU. They are like a 2930F. The size of that one is this much, versus the M is a little bit longer. The M comes with a lot of capability, as you know. As we are talking, the VSF stack is getting formed. Let me turn this rack a little bit so that you see what's happening. You have a modular power supply, and also you have a modular fan, which is very, very important when you buy a modular switch. Where in case of an all fixed, 6300 all fixed, you don't have the modular power supply. Everything is fixed, fans are fixed. But you can stack them into a 10-member stack. That's the flexibility which Aruba 6300 brings to you, where you can stack the fixed switches as well as the modular switches. There is a lot to talk about. It's not possible to cover everything in one video. I'm going to make subsequent video to talk about a lot of features, but I just want to allow you to glance, as it is going to boot and form a stack, glance on the number of SKUs which we support on 6300. Take a look at this one, this screen. We have Aruba 6300M with 24-port SFP with 4-port SFP 56. That means 450 gig uplink, and the 10 gig downlinks you have on access side port. Like that, we have all these SKUs which you can see on the screen. Apart from that, we have a different 2 PoE power supply, which is 10,000, 1050 watt, and also 1600 watt. So we have two different power supply that is also available. For a non-PoE switches, we have a different power supply. That means we support 3 power supply on 6300 platform. There is a varieties of things. Our product management and engineering has done an awesome job. But I would like to brief you a few things because you would like to understand those all things. As soon as you connect to this power, you might be thinking all the switch requires that much of a power. Remember, power management on this board itself is a big engineering. As soon as you connect a power, 120 or a 240 inside, it becomes a 12 volt, right? So the 12 volt, don't think like that every circuit in the motherboard needs a 12 volt. That's had to be managed, and some boards needs 1.3 volt, some needs 1 volt, some needs 3 volt. It has to be managed. That itself is a big engineering. And move to the next part of the another biggest, that is ASIC, right? I can talk about for hours and hours because I'm coming from an engineering background. I understand how these ASICs have been built before it sends to a fabrication like a TSMC or a Micron. Micron, you might have known, if you are using your mobile, all memory comes from Micron or from Samsung, right? Similarly, all the ASICs which we develop, especially on 6300 platform, it's our own ASIC which we develop. We do complete engineering in-house. The RTL design happens inside Aruba. We complete all of that, and then for fabrication, we send it to somebody who is trustworthy currently. So that's what we do, and we get the fabrication done. Okay. As I told you, I'm from engineering. I can talk hours and hours about all of these details. And let's move to the little bit on an upper layer. What happens between hardware and software, right? There is something known as SDK. Even we own that SDK. We write our own SDK. And then we have an operating system, AOS-CX operating system, sitting on top of that one. That operating system is one of the most recent and the modern operating system as you see in the overall networking industry. The reason because we call that operating system a cloud native operating system. I would like to, one significant of that operating system is the microservices architecture. That's very, very important piece of it on the AOS-CX platform. Let me talk about all of that maybe in the subsequent videos. Today, let me go back and show you how the stack has been formed now. The one cool feature which I really liked on the new 6300 is this RJ45 console cable. Now I've connected that RJ45 console cable, this one, RJ45 console cable on my 6300. Let me go back to what I'm sharing. Stop this presentation. Now let's go back to detect the port, which is there, device manager. Let me go and find out which is the port which is connected to this one, whether which COM port has been connected on my computer so that I can access the console of the switch. So looks like COM11. Okay. Okay, it's connected on PuTTY is connected on COM11. Let me log into the switch. Admin. The beginning factory default switches on AOS-CX. What is the password? No password, it's empty, right? So let's go and give the, you can see admin and enter. So it's asking for a new password. I'm going to give new password. Now I'm into the AOS-CX switch. As I've connected here, this is my conductor. If I change this console to my standby, take a look at this console, what's going to happen? It will tell me standby. No more it is a 6300. Earlier, before I start pressing that LED mode button, if you have connected this console, you will see same as 6300. It's a standby. Standby is nothing but it has elected standby. There is a conductor, there is a standby. Now let me move that console to one more, which is down as I was explaining you the member. Now you can see this is the member 3. What is meant by member 3? You might be getting, yeah, what is the naming? So always we call the conductor as a member 1. The standby is number 2. And the member, which is currently is a 3, is the third member. Let's consider after some time I get a factory default switch. I order another new switch. I want to grow the stack to 4 members. It's very, very simple to build the stack to the existing stack. Get the factory default switch, connect it below, and take the ring cable to the last port of that 50 gig on that new switch, and connect the same way how you have connected the upper 50 gig DAC. Automatically it will join the stack without any disturbance on the existing members. That means no conductor reboot, no standby reboot, no member reboot. Very, very important point. It will only boot the new box, the new member 4, and that will get joined to the stack. Very, very important. Consider a network when you deployed, you don't want to see any traffic loss because a member is joining. This is called efficient engineering. An R&D department has done awesome job looking at all networking vendors and the customer feedback. They have done this Aruba AOS-CX auto join feature, one of the best feature in the industry. So let me go back and change the console cable back to the member 1. Member 1, as I already told you, is our conductor. So now I am there on the conductor. I'm going to issue show VSF. You can see there is a conductor, there is a standby, and there is a member. It's a 3-member stack. It's complete. Remember, one more thing which we want to see is show member. If you see the topology, it will very clearly tell me it's in the ring topology. You can see where it is connected and how it is connected. Or let me go and issue another command which will be interesting to see. Instead of a topology, show VSF detail. It tells me that it is in a ring. This is very important. I'll tell you why. You can see here, it tells me it is in a topology is detected as a ring topology. Let's consider if I remove something, I want to make it as a chain. What is going to be the problem? If anything happens in the chain, you are going to break the stack. With a ring topology, you are not going to do that. That's a bigger benefit. Let's check this one. Let me go ahead and remove one of the link to check whether it's going to be turning as a chain or not. Okay, I've removed a link which is going from all the way from the member 3 to the conductor. Let me show you. This is what I've removed. Now you can see that port is empty. So I've removed and just left it for hanging. Now you can see stack has nothing has happened on the stack. No stack split because still, why? Only we removed the ring, right? So still the chain is there. You can take a look at this one. You can see here the topology has been changed to chain. But if I go and remove any link now, we are going to disturb the stack. So that's why I'm going to connect it back as a ring and keep it as it is. Okay, this is on the Aruba 6300 auto join feature, as you see on the screen. So now it comes back to, it is still in chain. It is not yet detected this one. Let me see one more time. Okay, now you can see it has become ring. Okay, cool. So what I'm going to do now is I got another surprise for you is this one. Let me stop sharing the screen so that you can see the video bigger. Another surprise for you is this one. I just received from my friend Miles Davis this new Aruba 655 access point. I also not seen this one. I'm going to unbox in front of you today. Let's see how much the weight so that I can use it for a weightlifting, and then connect it to Aruba 6300 with a Cat E cable. I'm going to connect it to our new stack which we just built with auto join feature. Okay. Nice. Oh, it's heavy. It's heavy because, oh my goodness, looks like it is doing 2.4, 5, and 6 gigahertz. I don't know how many clients we have for 6 gigahertz these days. I'd be very happy. Maybe in the stadiums and hospital environment, when you go and sit and watch a Netflix, probably these antennas will be used, right? So if you don't know about Wi-Fi and trying to learn something, first start with the amplitude modulation, frequency modulation, what happens on your FM, how you receive those bands. I can talk about, again, as I told you, I'm coming from engineering, and I can talk about on all of this for hours and hours. So not delaying you much, let me go and connect it to Aruba AOS-CX 6300 and show you how it's going to utilize the power on this new Aruba 655 access point. Okay, here you go. I have a Cat E cable, which I'm going to see how we build the overall product and the quality of the product, and also the software we build on top of that one. That's where you will see all across, not only Aruba product, all across, HPE is making world records. Number of world records which we are making, especially how we build our hardware, software, and also the management station and the offerings also. We always think about customer as our first. So customer first, customer last is our mantra. With that, if you see, these products are built like that. Nobody in the industry, if you go and look at all the Wi-Fi different vendors, the certified Wi-Fi is very rare. You will find certified APs, right? Wi-Fi 6, and we are already working on Wi-Fi 7. This is a Aruba 6E AP, and we are already working on Wi-Fi 7 next. Okay, let's see and look at the way we build. Always on and always available network is what we say, and not only we just say, you can see it in front of you. We have dual port all the way from the edge. So you can see if I just go and connect this one, that means now I'm going to connect it to one of the smart rate port. As you know, smart rate port is all the way from 1 gig, 2.5 gig till the 5 gig, right? So I'm going to connect it to one of the smart rate port on a new 6300 with a Cat E cable. That's it. You're done. You don't have to worry about whether you have a right switch, whether the right power is going there. All of that you don't have to worry. It's all taken care, right? So now you can see the new Aruba 655 is booting so nicely because it has sufficient power coming from all the way from AOS-CX switches. So it is booting fine with a Cat E cable connected, and it has a sufficient bandwidth. You can access all three radios, 2.4, 5, which is all of your clients today in your home, probably all your Ring cameras, etc., are all using maybe 10 Mbps, 20 Mbps, right? So that's the kind of a capacity it may be using, even not more than 100 Mbps. So that those all things can be sufficiently used. Where in case of streaming, let's consider you are running a lot of streaming or video editing. If you are doing a lot of video editing using the cloud, so those all application needs a different radio. That time you're going to use our new 6 gig. And if you have those clients, let's consider you're using a new Samsung phones or a Windows 11 laptop. So clients are yet to come. Probably you can see 11 or 8 companies have manufactured the Windows, the 6 gigahertz clients. So I'm going to talk all of that maybe probably in the next video. For now, I'm going to share back my screen and just going to show you how 6300 Aruba switch has detected this access point and how much the power it is drawing now. And that's all I'm going to do for this video. That way you're going to be happy because it's short and sweet. So now I hope you are able to see the Aruba 6300, which is loaded with the 1010. That means we have done almost 11 releases on AOS-CX, which is a modern operating system with a high quality deliverable for our customers all the way from campus, all the way from the campus branch, and same operating system, you use it in the data center. It is not just building an operating system which is scalable for the branch, which is scalable for the campus. We built an operating system which is scalable across the enterprise, which is the biggest thing, if you ask me, in the networking industry. If you go and look at anybody in the market, I worked in some of the with the biggest competitors for more than a decade. I can tell you, there are so many operating systems out there. The same operating system is so important because when you are configuring a DHCP in a branch, you can't come to a campus and configure a DHCP separately, or you can't go to a data center and start configuring the DHCP separately, or the VXLAN feature, now it's coming into the campus. You can't configure the VXLAN very differently on a one operating system, and you have to relearn all CLIs and also management of the VXLAN EVPN again on the campus and differently on the branch, right? So there is a lot to talk about in all of this, but I can tell you that that's where our customers trust us, and we have built this one modern, completely ground up from Aruba, this Aruba AOS-CX operating system. Go and let's check out this one, how much the power, which is a PSC, nothing but our AOS-CX switch, is giving out, reserving the power to the Aruba PD, which is nothing but the access point. Remember, always PSC will remember 1 or 2 watt more than what it is getting delivered to the PD. So let's go and check the show power over Ethernet. Brief is a good command. Always I like that one. So if you look at it, I've only connected on a one thing. You can see 1/1/17. It is delivering. Wow, nice. It's consuming 11.8 as I told you, and it is still, but the PSC, which is Aruba AOS-CX, very intelligent switch, which is currently keeping a power of 13.2 watt. Okay, with that, I think for today it is enough. And as I told you, I can talk a lot about all of this because I'm coming from an engineering background. There is a lot of details in each of this. How do I build each switch as soon as I connect from a power, and how the front panel look, each of this one, there is a lot to talk about. The ASIC itself, I can talk for hours and hours. Okay, leave your comments, and if you want to learn something more, I'm very happy to go ahead and show you more. Again, remember, Aruba builds the most efficient product in the industry, and we always consider our customers as the first. We have a mantra which is our founder left for all of us, which is customer first and customer last. With that, I'm going to stop. Thank you very much for watching. See you soon.